What's up, y'all? I am digging in the absolute crates with this one. NBA Inside Drive 2003 for the original Xbox, made by Microsoft. A lot of people probably didn't even realize Microsoft ever even had a basketball, but they did. So I got the sound down on this part because Master P got a song playing, and Master P didn't give me permission to play his song in Throwback Thursday. So I can't play Master P's records. Talk to Percy about that, or Lil Romeo. But this little intro I thought was interesting because they show you, doing the drawing boards. I forget what that's called. It's actually got a real word, and it's called board something. I don't know what it is. But where they're doing the character design and the artists are working on the character, I thought that was really interesting because the process still kind of goes like that, but not exactly anymore because technology has so advanced that, in just this short period of time, some of the ways that this stuff is done doesn't go the way it did then. But it's still interesting to see how it came about. And you see the graphics, obviously. We talking about 2002, man, because it's, they got the 2003. It's NBA Inside Drive 2003, but the game came out in 2002. So, yeah, look at this. This is something. Paul Pierce was on the cover. He's dunking. So this was 2003 because he's dunking. A lot of people don't realize, though, Paul Pierce was in the college dunk contest. Yeah, he had some ups back in the day. He did. He really did. So, yeah, so we're going to go. Before I get into the gameplay, now I'm going to let y'all know. It's going to take me a second to get into the gameplay because I started flipping through these rosters, and I was like, oh, my God. Look, Stoudemire and them was on the Blazers. Look, Sam Cassell, Ray Allen on the Bucks, Jay Williams. Oh, man. Jamal Crawford, Jalen Rose, Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry, Eddie Robinson, Marcus Fizer, Danielle Marshall, Trent Hassel, Dalibor Bogaric. All that with the Bulls. With the Cavs, this was the year before LeBron, so you got DeJuan Wagner, Ricky Davis, Darius Miles, Tyrone Hill, Jonas Ilgauskas, Lamont Murray, Chris Mim. No, Celtics was bad. Shammond Williams, Tony Delk, Paul Pierce. They had Antoine Walker and Van Baker, though. Tony Battie, Eric Williams. Then the Clippers had Andre Miller, Quentin Richardson, Lamar Odom, Elton Brand, Michael Oliver Kandi, White Chocolate, Michael Dickerson, Shane Battier, Pau Gasol, Lorenzen Wright, Stromile Swift with the Grizzlies. The Hawks, Dan Dickow, Jason Terry, Glenn Big Dog Robinson, Sharif Abdul-Rahim. The Heat, Travis Best, Eddie Jones, Kendall Gill, Brian Grant, Alonzo Mourning, LaFonso Ellis. The Hornets, Baron Davis, David Wesley, Jamal Mashburn. The Jazz, Stockton Malone, Cheney, Harper, and Greg Ostertag. Man, look at this. Mike Bibby, this was a good Kings team. Doug Christie, Stojakovic, Weber, Diva, Bobby Jackson. The Knicks was a good Knicks team, too. Charlie Ward, Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell. The Lakers, nasty, dominant. 23-year-old Kobe. Shaq, Ori, Fox, Derek Fisher, A.J. Guyton. The Magic. Man, look at this roster. Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Horace Grant. Look at the Mavericks, though. Finley, Nash, Nowitzki, and Van Exel. Man, the Nets. This was right before they got Vince Carter. So they had Kittles, Richard Jefferson, Kenyon Martin, and the Nuggets had Mark Jackson, Posey, Ryan Bowen, Marcus Camby, Juwan Howard, Nicolo Skidisvili. Then the Pacers, Reggie Miller, Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal. Man, Reggie Miller had a 78. He was 36-year-old Reggie Miller, though. But he had a 78. Pistons, Chucky Atkins, Richard Hamilton, Michael Curry, Ben Wallace. Look at the Raptors. This was Hakeem Olajuwon's last year in the league. He was 39 years old, still got an 83. But Vince Carter was on this team. He was 25 years old. Man, listen, this was cool. The Rockets, no Yao Ming yet, but they did have Steve Francis. I didn't even remember that Glenn Rice played for the Rockets. He's there. Then you got the 76ers, Snow, Iverson, Keith Van Horn, Derek Coleman, Todd McCulloch. The Sonics were still in the league. Peyton Brent Berry, Derek Mason, Rashard Lewis, Vitaly Potapinko, Kenny Anderson, Vladimir Radmanovic. The Spurs, all of the big three except for Ginobili. Steve Smith was there. Bruce Bowen, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Speedy Claxton, Kevin Willis. Tony Parker was only 20. Then you got the Suns, Stephon Marbury, Penny Hardaway, Marion, Tom Gugliotta, Jake Sakalidis, Bo Outlaw, That was Joe Johnson, 21-year-old Joe Johnson. Terrell Brandon, Wally Zerbiak. I had to think about, he don't need to be on the Legends roster. But Kevin Garnett was playing small forward. The Warriors was there. Bobby Sura, Jason Richardson's only 21. Anton Jameson, Danny Fortson, Eric Dampier, Mike Donlevy Jr. Gilbert Arenas, 20-year-old Gilbert Arenas. It was a 75. And then, look, the Wizards. Larry Hughes. 39-year-old Michael Jordan was an 86. Jerry Stackhouse, Christian Layton, Jahidi White, Tyronn Lue, Kwame Brown. It was cool. It was pretty cool. So you see some of the options they had. I had to just go through those rosters because the rosters was just freaking me out with some of the players that was there. So I actually let Junior play the game. Look at Derek Fisher and Richard Jefferson with hair. This reminded me, though, that I probably need to do I probably just going to update Richard Jefferson's ratings on the Legends roster, which by the time you see this, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I put these out a little bit ahead of time. By the time you see this, the Legends roster is going to probably already be out. Should be out, long as I stayed on schedule, is out. But yeah, so Richard Jefferson with hair, I need to have that in there. So you'll be able to tell if I remember to do this, whether or not if Richard Jefferson with hair is in my Legends roster on NBA 2K15. Looking at Grant Hill. That was a good Grant Hill. I got to check and see. I'd have to look back and see how much he actually played that season with the Magic, because, he missed most of his seasons with the Magic. And look at Dirk Nowitzki with hardly no hair. And then Nuggets. Juwan Howard was the man. The Pacers, that's Jamal Tinsley, I guess. And who is that? Rip Hamilton. And this is Alvin Williams. I don't know why he's pictured. I don't know. But let's look. You want to know where 2K got the absolute look? If you just look at the way this game looks, it looks a lot like 2K. It really does look like, even the menus looks a lot like 2K. So now 2K was out already. So, there was an original NBA 2K. So it wasn't like 2K had never been out. So you could say that perhaps they copied off of 2K, but I don't really remember back in the early 2K whether or not they had the practice thing. But look at the way they're set up. Everything looks just like looks just like 2K. The whole judging the release, the excellent release and all that, this looks like a really primitive version of 2K. And it's something. It's something how much this looks just like this. Much of the way the game actually plays to and moves around. Obviously, you definitely have the graphic difference, but just the way the thing moves around is really pretty similar, So, if you are a fan of 2K, then you'll probably dig that. But you can switch to just free throws, which is something you could definitely do, just overall. And there's this whole thing about switching the person that you're taking control of. Of course, Junior wanted to have Vince Carter, so he could do that. Oh, he wanted to dunk. He didn't get to put it down that time. So I guess he had to learn how to dunk. Shoots the three. Trying from the corner again. I don't know. I think that's Kenny Smith. Yeah, giving the jump shot feedback. He's actually one of the announcers in the game as well too. So gives it to Hakeem Olajuwon. But I guess we're going a little bit long with that. So I said let's go ahead and actually see some of this gameplay of the actual game. So he played the All-Star game. You see Steve Francis, Kobe, Kevin Garnett, Duncan, Olajuwon on the West. You had Iverson, some good teams there, but I don't know what's with these records. I don't know how they figured that 32-19 for. I don't know what that's about. But you can actually pick which arena you're gonna play in. So Junior picked Atlanta to play in for some reason. I believe this was the All-Star game when the guys actually wore their jerseys, which I always thought was kind of weird. Because the Lakers are one of those, might be the only team, now that I'm thinking about it, the only team whose home jersey isn't white. If I'm missing a team, you guys will have to remind me. But I think the Lakers are the only team that their home jersey isn't white. So it's kind of confusing with Kobe and Shaq out there because they're actually the home team, which shouldn't be because we're in Atlanta. But Junior's just playing around. Look at the the graphics are kind of crazy. Graphics are kind of crazy. So are the animations, but it was a while ago. Kobe from the outside, good. He puts it in. Mutombo is out there, bringing it in to Iverson. I think it's Marcus Johnson, Kenny Smith. I forget who the actual play-by-play guy is. That was the 39-year-old Michael Jordan. So of course he was voted to start. Iverson fouled with the reaching. The passing definitely could use some help. Definitely use some help. Steve Francis. A lot of people asking when he's coming on my Ultimate Legends roster. He is coming shortly. Probably won't be up by the time you watch this video, but he's definitely coming up. I didn't necessarily... Oh, look at the finger roll by Iverson. I didn't leave guys out or anything like that. Or what should I say? I'm not going in order of how good the player is. I just was when I made the list for the weird spin move. I don't know what that was. Oh, Duncan with the slam. But when what is Antoine Walker doing? When I originally made the list, I was just kind of brainstorming, just going through, naming guys, going through all the different teams and thinking okay, what legends should be there. So that was the first step. Then my next step for picking the legends was I went to actually bestbasketballreference.com and I started looking at the greatest players in each organization's history. Now, some of the guys I left out because it was kind of some of the players was I don't think people would really know who these guys are. And if they had zero cool factor to them, I might have left them out, just for the sake of, because certain guys like Jason Williams, White Chocolate, he would not be considered an all-time great. Anybody that knows basketball would tell you he's not an all-time great. But from a video game standpoint, he'd be really fun to play with. So had to leave some room for people like him. And so guys who might have actually been Hall of Famers, like people like Clyde Lovelett and, guys like that, maybe I didn't put them in because you wanted to have people like Jason Williams. And I know most of the people that play video games won't have an issue with that because if you ask them who would you rather play with, Clyde Lovelett or Jason Williams, I think pretty much the answer would be Jason Williams all the time. So there are still some really good, really exciting players to come that I haven't put on the Ultimate Legends roster yet, like Gilbert Arenas and Steve Francis, Latrell Sprewell, all of those guys. So they're coming. Jamal Mashburn, making them all. So by the time you see this, though, I'm going to probably be over 100 people in. Because this is, well, maybe not, but close. It's going to be close. It's going to be close to 100 people in. So I did figure out how to go over 150. Somebody asked me to show a video of how to do that. I'm going to basically show a video of how to do that. But I'll do it after I do the Ultimate Legends roster. Whenever I'm doing a project that takes as long as the Ultimate Legends roster, I can't do a lot of other stuff at one time, or unless I won't finish, which is why some of the other things that I've done I haven't finished. So I learned from those mistakes, and I'm going about it a different way. So that was Inside Drive 2003. It wasn't been a long video. He played the whole game, but it was pretty decent. So I appreciate y'all watching. God bless. Peace.